All right, so I'm Chris. Welcome to VH Engines. This is the last one I have to go for the day, and I try not to rush it. But okay, so I wanted to make a kind of a video the other day, talk about like content, like what makes me decide how I'm going to upload things or what I'm uploading. And I couldn't really do it. I didn't want to do it because I knew it would be a snoozer. Like I knew that it was going to get 100 views and most people weren't going to watch it. So now that I have this H22 video thing to talk about, it gives me a way to preface this topic and still have it be, you know, paid attention to by people. I have a lot of people all the time that are like, hey, talk about this. Hey, talk about that. You know, hey, talk about this. Chances are I already did talk about it years ago, and there's not really much more I can add to it. So what determines me talking about a topic? What I have to have covered it, for one. Most of everything Honda related that everybody uses, I've covered. So it has to be, something new has to arise for me to come back and revisit it. Like, you know, I was just talking to somebody, you know, like H&F, and I was like, well, I've already talked about much of everything I can talk about. Even today's topic, I've already kind of covered it. This is just reinforcing what I've already said, you know. And then somebody's like, well, touch on the newer K-Series. You do all the older K-Series. Well, the newer K-Series, not really many people are fucking with. The crowd is still the first generation or so of K-Series, and that's still new to a lot of people. Right. And the reason why I talk about K-Series so much is because it's so diversified. It's, there's so many different things you can, it's, what is it? There's so many, ooh, wow. There's so many different things you can do. They're dynamic. That's the word I was looking for. They're a very dynamic engine. There's a lot of different things you can do with them. There's so many different routes you can take, even with the shittiest versions of the engine. So that's why I keep revisiting K's, because there's always new developments, new shit to talk about, new ideas and directions to go. The other older engines, there's not just, the diversity is just not there. So I can't just talk about something just to talk about it, because it would be a shit video. Like I'm not into making shit content, guys. This is why I disappear from time to time. I disappear when I don't have anything to say. If there's nothing noteworthy to put out, it's better I just let it be than to say something that will potentially lose viewers and subscribers. Usually, guys, when you see a video from me, you know I have something worth talking about. So the good thing is for me is I don't live off of this YouTube thing. I don't. So I don't feel the need to constantly upload every single day or every three times a week to stay relevant. I'd rather not do that. I would rather upload as I have something relevant to talk about, which is why I do what I do. So, yeah, that's the reason why I don't just throw out all kinds of different things. And this is the reason why I touch on K-Series the most. And even with D and B series, which are even themselves also much more famous than the H and F, I still don't talk about them too much anymore because it's already been covered. Most of the shit that I can already say about those engines has already been covered years ago. And nothing new is being added to talk about it. And I doubt we're going to see much new because K-Series is taking over, and very rightly so. It's a better option and all around, and it's the prevalent thing. There's engines you can buy them for nothing. So to talk about the H&F series, and the reason why I feel comfortable making this a small topic video is because, like I said, I've already touched on this. People talk about all the time about the H series. What do we do to get around the FRM sleeve problem with upgraded pistons? And I had somebody tell me the other day that his tuner said that Nippon racing pistons were trash, and that mall pistons were the way to go. Well, his tuner is fucking trash, because a quick Google search will show you that mall pistons very quickly chew up the fucking H22s just like all these other ones do. I think it's crazy that we're years down the line from the mall piston thing and people are still regurgitating nonsense. And how do I know it's nonsense? You know Kyle from Boosted Boys, those guys that were real popular and real famous for building their H22 series, H22 back in the day? Well, I stood, toe-to-toe with Kyle. We had a face-to-face conversation, and I asked him about it. And he said, yeah, it chewed up the cylinders. So that's the most famous case that you can use. That's the guy, right? The guy that made it popular. And mall pistons chewed them up. Also, if you do a quick Google search, mall pistons H22, you'll see mall pistons in the bore and the FRM sleeves chewed up. Also, I tried to find it so I could screenshot it and post it on Instagram, but somebody DM'd me that I did like a refresher for. He brought me a block. I cleaned it up real good. I painted it and all that stuff. Sent it back to him, and he built his H22 using mall golds. He hits me up, and it's been like a year or so later, And he's like, yeah, I was having problems with the issue with the engine. I took it apart. It's fucked up. And what I recommended to him was just go ahead and re-sleeve the engine. Like I was also throwing out there, cylinder support system, CNC Works, they will put iron liners in your block. I think it's like $850, and they will cut out your FRM bullshit, and they will put the real, you know, cast iron in your block. So it's not a sleeve block, but it is going to be more compatible with the forged pistons. It is compatible with forged pistons. And then if you want to, while you're at it, you could also do the CSS. So you could have a high-powered H22 block that doesn't need to be re-sleeved. But this isn't the main topic. The main thing is I talked about Nippon racing pistons. I was like, well, Nippon racing pistons to me makes all kinds of sense in the world to being the usable piston for the H22 because it's cast. Now, yes, it's still cast with different mixed metals in there than Honda uses OEM, but it's still a cast piston. So the thoughts in my brain equaled me to think that I'm like, yeah, well, it's a cast piston, and you know they have them, so why not just use those? And I think it would be much better, you know, for the FRM sleeves. That'll probably get you around that problem. Now, since I've made that post, I've had people come to me over the time since that video's been made and said, yes, I'm using Nippon racing pistons. I've been using them for years, and they work just fine. Good results. I've had multiple people now. The recent one was last night. A guy named Ian, I think his name, yeah, came to me and said that he's using the pistons for 3 years. He said he's making like he's making 310, I think, or 276. Well, one video he claimed that he was making 310, and another video he says 276. Either way, that's the 276 is pretty easily believable. I've seen the G23s with K20 pistons, the Type S pistons make 270 something. So it's not unbelievable for an H22 with cams and stuff to make that kind of power. And it's so like when people like that's their gotcha moment for the H22 being relevant. Like, oh, I gotcha. The H22 makes as much power as a K. Yeah, but you got to do all kinds of shit to that H to make that kind of power. A stock K20 block or in K24, you know, with bolt-ons and fuel make like 250 something. And I'm sorry, but H22s don't do that. I follow a bunch of reputable tuners for a reason. And the reason is because every time they tune an engine, I get to see what the common numbers are. And I get to see what the numbers are. And when you put the commonality over time, you get to see what the common numbers are to expect. So a bolt-ons tuned H22 routinely makes between 185 horsepower to 210. So yeah, that's so every once in a while when a guy with an NAH makes a high, you know, 200s, like that's the gotcha moment. I'm like, it's not really. And I'm not knocking the H, man. The H is fine. It's just like, if you're going to go through all that effort to put an H22 in there in your car, might as well just do a K. And I've talked about the K, how cheap it is now ad nauseum. You can buy, you can literally have a K sitting in your jet bay. Like, of course, the engine swap not complete, but you can have one bolted in your bay for like $850. So, and it's like, and the main reason why, like, oh, why you don't do H's, why don't build H's? Because they're extremely hard to find, bro. Not only is it a mission to get in your car, potentially, but you gotta find the motherfuckers first, bro. I can't find them anywhere, and I'm not gonna go to a fucking import shop to pay premium price for an H22. Why the hell would I do that? So, yeah, H22 content. This is another thing. If you are dead set on building an H22, I would imagine it's because you have a Prelude or an Accord, and then that makes all the sense in the world. Build your H by all means, bro. That car is meant for that. You know, so, and they come with them. So if you got that and you're building an H for that reason and you're looking for a piston to go to, I think your best bet is very safe to say Nippon Racing. Not Maul, because we know for sure that Maul destroys the sleeves. There's examples out there. You can see them. You just gotta look. It takes you 2 seconds to look and you'll see that those pistons chew the fuck out of the cylinders. I've heard enough people talk about H22 pistons with Nippon Racing to feel comfortable saying it. You know, and at the end of the day, if you want to guarantee that you're going to do a modified piston in that engine without any problems, you want to guarantee reline the fucking cylinders. So, yeah, that's it. You guys got some H22 content now that you can say that you can watch. And the chances are me seeing any again in the near future is slim, because I've already talked about most of the things I can talk about, and it would just be me reiterating things I've already gone over. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I know it was small and quick. And not all 100% H22, but it is what it is. So social media links are in the description down below, and I appreciate you guys for watching. Peace.